All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the Super Bowl is this Sunday, February the 11th. Don't miss it. I'll possibly stream or just eat pizza alone. Besides that, we have massive implications heading over to this heavyweight bout, with possibly the only favor coming out of the NFC, predictably enough, out of the whole logo conspiracy involving the Baltimore Ravens facing off against the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers were in the defending Super Bowl champions return again in their fifth out of four Super Bowl appearances to probably win their second after defeating the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles could not repeat being NFC champions after falling short against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the wild card round. So yeah, did not expect that to go as much as a lot of people anticipated, but San Francisco 49ers have their upsides, so do the Kansas City Chiefs, but downsides as well. We'll try to proceed who could possibly win the Super Bowl over Kyle Shanahan, another 12-game winning season, while 11-16, a far cry from a successful seasonal campaign last season, where the Kansas City Chiefs proceed as well division champions for the sixth consecutive time. 7 consecutive times since 2017. Even over the last two, when Alex Smith was leading the reins, Kareem Hunt was still the leading rusher, and Tyreek Hill was still on the team. And going out of their Super Bowl window, it is still over in a high far cry. Their offense, Kansas City's offense, has been a bit of a far cry from last season. They are 3 games loosened up over their record. They've been a beatable team, but coming out of a chip out of the shoulder, decent play calling, while missing out on possibly a lot of major players. One being L'Jarius Sneed, Rashid Weiss possibly out due to an ankle injury, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Just major skill player issues, even though some can be inconsistent. It's been primarily the defensive front five that's been carrying the Kansas City Chiefs into deep playoff run success that got them into massive, dominant, convincing victories, conceding only 6 points over their last 3, 1 over on home field, and 2 straight road games when they're facing off against teams with a higher winning record. It's been secondary, consistent quarterback play, good clock management that's been leading the Kansas City Chiefs, while the Niners have been high-paced scoring, inconsistency off the secondary, reliance over the pass rush, and just Christian McCaffrey cooking over high late conversions over in the game, and majority of the game could be sliced up to a bit of trailing, and we know Kyle Shanahan's record trailing. He has been, over the past 2 games, trailed over a 3-score game against the Detroit Lions, and then trailed over a 2-score game over into the half until they came back against the Green Bay Packers, collapsed, and Jordan Love kind of threw the game away, literally, over a late interception Hail Mary in the second half. I really want to see more. I really do want to see more off the secondary, guys, because even though when they push over an advantage and pressure over the quarterback, you're messing with an experienced, seasoned quarterback with Patrick Mahomes. And we know Jared Goff is a veteran, well-acclaimed deep ball thrower, very consistent. And Jordan Love is his 3rd season, finally having a full season to himself. And he is prone to make mistakes. We've been over the back of inexperienced offensive units that barely have an identity, while the Kansas City Chiefs have been playing high-ranking, high-paced, pressure-zoned teams with more experienced coaches with a championship resume, all-pro quarterbacks. All 3. Tua beat the passing record and made Pro Bowl. Lamar Jackson's the league MVP, and Josh Allen's an all-pro quarterback, while we beat Jordan Love and Jared Goff. Don't get me wrong, Detroit had an amazing turnaround, but the Kansas City, just record aside, track record aside, even the way they push over to the playoffs, I don't want to say it. I possibly have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this in a contested ball game where it could go over to at least a total of 41 points of offense into the game, but that might be condensed because Kansas City has just been a better defensive unit heading over to the playoffs into San Francisco 49ers that kind of have a late spurt because I know Chase Young came around the deadline. We still have a definitive secondary that can make mistakes, especially how the receivers be in Kansas City. Whenever they play clutch, they can play clutch, especially Rashid Rice. Don't know if he might be playing. Travis Kelce's been back to elite level since the postseason started, and you know you can't take Isaiah Pacheco out of the momentum. While Christian McCaffrey's been an elite baller when it comes to our screen out plays down the lane, Deebo Samuel has came back to his all-pro form, and we had some outstanding catches going on by Kyle Juszczyk gave us some late third down conversions over in the comeback. It's gonna be inch by inch, and defense is going to be probably a major factor into how this game ends, in my opinion. But I'm gonna trail this around a 27-20 game. Kansas City, possibly. I really wish I could turn this around. I don't want to officiate over bias because you guys know me already, documented Niners fan already. But Kansas City, they've won 2 Super Bowls for a reason. It is not just because Tyreek Hill. And if last season didn't prove it, Kansas City can already do. Even though we have a better record, even though it looks like we have a more acclaimed defense on paper and performance wise, Kansas City's just been a bit better. But could there be a collapse? Could there be pressure? And would we try to hinder over, dependent if we get some nasty hits over on Patrick Mahomes? Possibly, but anything could happen. What you guys got for the game? I'll put the polls down on the community tab, down on the channel. You can also subscribe if you want to get further content. That's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoy Super Bowl weekend and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for watching.